Disclaimer. This is a topic that goes way deeper in the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Chicago gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at Vonoff1700's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could have led him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel Von was the first who stepped up and started this new Chicago wave we've been seeing this past year. Thanks! I hope you enjoy. Before I get into the video, I'd like to say I'm still fighting a cold, so my voice might be a bit iffy. Hopefully it ain't too noticeable though. With that out the way, let's get into it. Davon Meeks, better known by his stage name, Vonoff1700, is a rising talent coming from the Chicago drill scene whose wild beat selection, hard-hitting delivery, and sometimes crazy, sometimes funny, lyrics have elevated him to the level of other Chicago greats, such as Polo G and G Herbo, accomplishing their level of fans and allure in only 3 years from starting music. This is the story of the four-eyed menace, Vonoff1700. Growing up, Von would be raised in what is referred to as in Chicago as Out West, the Vonoff1700 stage name deriving from his specific block on the west side, 1700. Though Von himself claims TOSCA, which to my knowledge is a subset of the Four Corner Hustler set who runs his area. Growing up surrounded by gangs and criminals would make it very easy for a young Von to dip his toe into illicit activities. That being said, in a later interview, Von will go on to say that his young life was pretty fun, though tragedy was always mixed in as well. When Von was around 8 years old, he had his first real brush with death, with a family member dying. While we don't really know about the specifics of this case, we do know that it had a profound effect on Vonoff1700's childhood, as Von often mentions it when he talks about his childhood, the good and the bad. In his later DJ Small Eyes interview, Von laments about how bad he was as a kid, and how he probably should have took school a bit more seriously, though it all ended up working out for the better anyways, so it's whatever at this point. At around the age of 14, Vonoff1700's mom would begin to make a bit more money. She would decide that it'd be best for their family to move out of Chicago and into Atlanta to hopefully disconnect the family from all the negativity that is Chicago street culture. At this time, Von had already lost family to the streets. One example he talks about being his uncle. I'm not completely sure on the timeline of when he passed, but it seems to have a deep-rooted effect on Von's future. It was in Atlanta, when Von was around 16 years old, that he became interested in making music, off his blood brother, SBG Brick, already making music, as well as having a general interest in drill off them both being raised in Chicago. In his DJ Small Eyes interview, Vonoff1700 states that if he had a chance to go back in time and tell his younger self something, he'd go back and cut off some of the old friends who had influenced him in negative ways, or who turned out to be bad friends. And I think this kind of points to one of the causes for Von's future savageness, especially on the mic. When you're raised in an environment with friends who are in the gang-type lifestyles, and you pick up that lifestyle as well, you will pick up the behavior, whether intentionally or not. When motherfuckers snake you, you're gonna respond to the betrayal like a gang member would, because that's all you're around. Gang members, making you spiral into a more cold us versus them ideology of just being around it. I say all this not to morally grandstand, but to say that I think this is 100% the case with Vonoff1700, because he was given the chance for a clean slate in Atlanta, and all the shit he saw in Chicago growing up was too deep-rooted at that point for him to separate himself from it. Not to excuse disrespecting the dead or robbing and drilling, but rather to give context on why I think he turned out to be how he is, even with the clean slate. In Von's junior year of high school, COVID would hit, forcing all of the school to start doing online classes. It was at this time that Von completely lost interest in school and decided to ghost and not finish. He would later say that he regretted this decision, but I don't know if I really believe that, seeing that on July 22nd, 2020, in the peak of COVID time, Von would go on to release his first ever music video. Even in his first music video, Walk Down, Von's delivery is his staple, consistently flowing cadence that he is known for today. It's almost like Vonoff1700 was made for drill, though seeing that he's had an interest in it since he was at least 16, maybe this shouldn't be as surprising to me as it is. After posting that first song, it'd be about 3 months till he posted his next music video. That video being a freestyle featuring Flyest Baby A. Jesus Christ, that spelling. Both of these songs would make tiny waves, though it wouldn't really shake none majorly at time of release. It wouldn't be until Vonoff1700 started to collaborate with his blood brother, SBG Brick, that his views would begin to rise as they had great chemistry and played off each other's back musically really well. With songs like Emotions, I still go back to this day off Brick's melodic rapping style. Seeing that Von was inspired off of Brick starting to rap, I think that Brick brings out the best in Von, and the main reason Vonoff1700 stayed as consistent as he did is probably Brick, if I'm being honest. With that being said, Von would slow down on posting in 2021, but in 2022, his music would blow up to another level of popularity. If you were to look at Vonoff1700's YouTube channel, you would see that Von and Brick were getting around 100k to 500k views a song on average, probably at the time being at the peak around 200k. As soon as Brick got arrested and Von dropped Free Brick freestyle, it hit 5.7 million views fast as fuck, easy as fuck. Everything from the crazy sample and beat Von used to his funny and disrespectful lyrics made Free Brick an almost instant classic that I still bump to this day. To keep this momentum up, Von would go on to tease and then post his most popular song to date, that being On Deck. On Deck is currently sitting at 11 million views and served to put on hella people to the new wave bubbling in Chicago. Von will continue this tradition from Free Brick, choosing an unorthodox beat that drew in many new ears to his music. From this point on, Vonoff1700 was one of the top names to Chicago's new wave, leading to a multitude of feats and cosigns from other artists in the industry, from D-Thang, a New York artist, being in a video with Von and later doing a song with him, from G Herbo co-signing him, and even Pablo G hopping on a song, to other underground artists like Ian and the Bloodhound crew doing songs with them. If we just going off of features, Vonoff1700 is one of the most sought after artists right now for a feat. And God is my witness, I've never heard a bad Vonoff1700 verse. He spazzes on every single track he's on, even out rapping the main artist most of the fucking time. Now, I'd be amiss if I didn't mention the trolling that Von is known to do, especially in interviews. If you can watch his No Jumper interview where he's talking about his ops and not have a smile on your face, you're fucking wildin'. This motherfucker is so entertaining that while at the same time as being super disrespectful, he's being super funny. I can never tell when he's serious or when he's trolling, and I think that kinda adds to his mystique. Many artists in Chicago get their clout off street activities, and I feel like Vonoff1700 is a tad different. Von, I feel, blew up off his unique beat selection and his out-of-pocket lyrics and flows. But unlike, say, a King Von or a Bloody Hound Lil Jeff, it seems like the main reason for his blow-up was the great music he made, not the wild antics he get up to on live, on him alluding to bodies, or on him coming up just doing criminal shit. It's mostly a come-up of musical talent, and I feel like that needs to be celebrated more, especially in Chicago. There have been allegations that he was behind a shooting at a gas station, but as everyone and their mama has debunked that or looked into that, I'm not gonna do that. In my humble opinion, Vonoff1700 has not even reached his final form yet. His newest song, as of the release of this video, is his song Fluky Shit, which serves to be his first real drill pain anthem song, memorializing his fallen friends and kind of venting about the problems he has now that he has money, as well as losing people to drugs and to the streets. Given 3 more years, I feel like Vonoff1700 is going to be just as big as a Lil Durk, G Herbo, or even a King Von. If he stays out of trouble, that is, and keeps up his momentum that he's currently building. His days of posting dead ops pics and music videos might be over as he's becoming more mainstream, but hopefully we will keep the raw energy that keeps on coming from his music without diving headfirst back into the street activity that could get him fucked up. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment with who you'd like to see next, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. Next week, I'm gonna try to do a video on either Chucky or YFJ Fatso to keep up with the Chicago vibe I've been curating. If y'all would like to see someone else, let me know. I could even double back to Jacksonville if y'all really want. With that out the way, peace out, chill out.
Fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.